Hello, I'm Bob Lancer, and the purpose of this show is to lead you into the life you truly want to be living. It is also about helping you to better understand and relate with others, especially the children in your life, in support of their great potential. So this show is for anyone who wants to live with more peace and purpose and positive power to soar into the fulfillment of our greatest promise. All relationships are imaginary. You are in a relationship with the person you imagine. You can't be angry at someone without imagining what they did that bothers you. You can't distrust someone without holding on to a memory of what they did. And memory is imagination. Imagination doesn't mean that it never happened. It means that you're recreating a scene using your imagination, perhaps of something that actually did occur. At least in your perspective it occurred. But holding on to resentment takes your energy. Holding on to distrust takes your energy. Holding on to insecurity takes your energy. Holding on to the reasons why you feel so bad, all of that takes your energy and attention that you could be investing into creating what you want in life. That's the process of liberation, is liberating your attention and energy from those reactionary patterns that are draining you and preventing you from creating what you want in life. To the degree that your efforts to control prove futile, give them up. Improve your responses. Control of circumstances begins with controlling or improving your reactions to your circumstances. All stressed out, you make it impossible for yourself to come up with a solution because your mind is stuck in fear. So sometimes the best way of achieving more of what you want in life is releasing yourself from the stress and anxiety of your reaction. How would you like to feel? You don't want to feel stressed out and anxious and angry and frustrated. Nobody wants to feel that way. But we feel that way as long as we blame other people for how we feel. You'd like to feel at peace. You'd like to feel calm, confident, and in control. And the beauty is that when you are in that feeling state, you're in your most resourceful state. You actually will discover ways of achieving what you weren't able to achieve when you reacted in stress. When you don't like the way your marriage is going, notice how you're handling that. Are you getting rebellious and destructive and angry and frustrated or depressed and discouraged? Are you imagining yourself being lonely forever? All of those represent ways that you are functioning in reaction to that situation. Concentrate on improving your reactions. Not how would I like the other person to change? How would I like to think? How would I like to feel? How would I like to function? Delightfully dealing with difficult people. And everyone has to deal with difficult people from time to time. We even find ourselves difficult to deal with from time to time, don't you? So I want to talk to you about how to deal with difficult people in a positive and constructive way. The first thing that you have to do is to know what your actual priorities are, what your goals are. Because when someone does something that you don't like, if you don't have a clear sense of what your life is really about, a really deep intention for what you want to accomplish, you're going to find yourself reacting in ways that take you off course. You might think that the most important thing in the world for you to do is to get back at someone, to say something cruel, to control what they're up to. And in the heat of an emotion, that's exactly how you feel. But the problem with that is that you might actually be doing more harm than good, not just for yourself, but for others. If you're not really clear about your intention, for example, to be the best parent you can be for your children, you can make some hasty decisions, some bad choices. take some reckless actions that will cost your children plenty. And then only later, when the heat of your emotion dies down, can you look back and realize, wow, what I was reacting to really was of no consequence compared to what I'm really trying to achieve. One of the ways to protect yourself from being knocked off course by difficult people who don't want to cooperate with you in a way that you regard as reasonable, is to get so clear about your goals that you are consistently cooperating with yourself no matter what other people are doing. Become clear about your goals. Particularly if you find yourself becoming very emotional, very nervous, very stressed out by the way any one person in your life behaves or by the way many people in your life seem to behave. As you get clearer about your goals, you'll find yourself seeing other people's behavior in a different perspective, and it will have less impact on you. You'll feel less dependent upon what other people are up to because you'll not be reacting in ways that are destructive relative to your goals. You'll be responding in line with what you want to bring about, no matter what they are doing. So you'll always be able to make progress toward what's really most important to you, with or without a given individual's cooperation. Now, that being said, we need to keep in mind the fact that we can accomplish far more with people than without them or against them. The more people that you are in a good, harmonious relationship with, the more people are supporting you, want you to do well, are there to help you out, are cooperating with you, are willing to cooperate with you. Your ability to relate with more and more people in an authentic, compassionate, and constructive way is your ticket to greater success in life. One of the ways that we can cause a person to be extremely ineffective in life is to isolate that individual, because you can only do so much for yourself on your own. The more people who are rowing the boat with you, the farther the boat goes, the faster it gets there without requiring any additional effort from you. The more difficult a person is for you to work with, get along with, live with, the better. In this sense, by giving you an opportunity to develop your skills, your ability, and your strength at getting along with people, that person is giving you exactly what you need. Did you know that you always get all the help that you need? You may not get all the help you ask for from a particular individual, but when someone doesn't give you what it is that you're asking for, they're giving you the opportunity to develop your ability to handle that constructively instead of destructively, to be more for yourself when someone else is not there for you. It's important that you pay attention to how you think and how you speak about other people. Typically, we talk about someone who we find difficult as a jerk, as if the problem lies exclusively with them. They're not being reasonable. But think of it this way. The person you think about is the person you bring about in your life. How you think of another person has an impact on you. And if you think of another person in a way that causes you to feel anger or resentment or frustration or powerlessness or a feeling that you're being victimized, it's actually you who are impacting you in that negative way. When you react with anger and stress and frustration towards somebody because they're not coming through for you, they're not living up to your expectations, they're behaving irrationally in your judgment, take a look at how you are dealing with that, because that's where you come in. If you find yourself thinking about or speaking about someone in a negative way, what you're doing is having a negative impact upon your own well-being. Your anger, your frustration, your resentment, your impatience, your disappointment, all of that has a negative impact on your body. Also, when you're talking negatively about another person to another person, you're bringing that other person stress. And you're also letting that person know that this is how you speak about people. This is the kind of behavior you engage in. When you're about to call someone else a jerk because of the way they're behaving, you might recognize that that way of behaving that you're engaging in right now is not very intelligent. It's not in line with your interests. You're counting too much on that person. You have to be very careful about the way you think of other people, because your thoughts impact you. Don't make anyone else responsible for what you think, because your thoughts impact you and your life. So if you find yourself thinking about someone and it's causing you to feel disturbed, what you need to do is to let go of that thought. And if you hear yourself speaking about someone and it's causing you to feel negative, you need to let go of that form of speech and switch the subject. And if you notice yourself hearing someone speaking negatively about another person, that's still creating in your mind an image of someone you don't want to be with, but you bring about what you think about, and you experience the person you talk about. One of the things to keep in mind when you confront a difficult person, someone who's hard to get along with, is that this is just life. You don't have to take it personally. See, life always follows the pattern of the wave. It goes up and it goes down. When life is going up, that means that people are looking good and acting well and treating you well, and things are going your way. Opportunities are opening up. And that inevitably has to return to a down cycle, where you find yourself experiencing more problems, more adversity, more difficulties, losses instead of gains. Just as you breathe in and out, life goes up and down, just as an ocean wave goes up and down. No one is at their peak level all the time, including you. So when someone is confronting you with a pattern of behavior that you find difficult to deal with, realize if it wasn't them, it would have to be something else. It's just your time right now to be facing the lower cycle of the wave. And in order to really grow and succeed in life, we need to learn to master both cycles. How you handle success is exactly the way you're going to handle adversity. If you find yourself getting all stressed out and anxious to take advantage of every opportunity, you're going to find yourself getting all stressed out and anxious when you're facing adversity. But in both situations, they're really the same, because you're going to reap what you sow. And you want to take a look at, what am I doing? What am I thinking? What am I saying? What impact are my choices right now having on where I want to go in life? Whether you're at the top of the cycle or the bottom, whether someone's doing exactly what you want them to do or doing the exact opposite of what you want them to do, realize that in every relationship that has got to happen. No one is going to always be exactly as you want them to be. However wonderful they seem today, tomorrow you're going to find them falling apart. You're going to start seeing their weaknesses, the aspects of them that you can count on. And if you go into resentment towards someone because they're not maintaining this level that fulfills your expectations, you're going to destroy the relationship. And we need to learn how to be in relationship with human beings, not just ideals. When someone's not performing for you the way you want them to, try not to take it personally. Realize this is just, it's raining today. The sun's not coming out today. This is a fallow period. In every relationship, you're going to have to deal with this. When people are not performing the way you want them to, it really does give you an opportunity to grow into a better person, to be even more powerful and more effective yourself, which then automatically attracts to you more powerful and effective people, because birds of a feather really do tend to flock together. And as you parents begin practicing what I'm talking about today on how to deal with difficult people, not only will you find it easier to relate with your children when they're being challenging, your ability to deal with difficult people will automatically be transmitted to them, because children become who they spend time with. The better you are at relating with people, the better your children automatically are going to be at relating with people. When someone's not giving you what you need, it's giving you a signal that you're going to have to develop the strength, ability, skill, intelligence, knowledge to do that for yourself, to do more for yourself. And that's not a bad thing. There seems to be a law in life that requires us to develop self-reliance, and one of the mistakes parents often make is not giving their children the opportunity to not get their help. Because by helping someone too much, they don't develop the strength they need to help themselves and to help others, which is one of the most rewarding things you can do. That's why it's so hard sometimes for parents to not give more to their children, because it's so satisfying to make someone else happy by lending them a hand. Did you know that when a butterfly is struggling to get out of its cocoon, if you come and help the butterfly get out of the cocoon by breaking the cocoon a little bit to make it easier, the butterfly will die because it will not have developed the strength its wings need in order to fly. So when someone is not coming through for you, or someone is behaving in a way that you find really difficult to deal with, they are simply giving you a problem to solve. And what you want to do is say, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? What skills, what ability, what strength does this call on me to develop so that I can help myself? So that I can deal with this person without getting stressed out? So that I don't have to be drawn into another draining argument, useless, petty power struggle with this person? Human beings are classes for us, and we want to graduate from one grade level to the next. As you skillfully deal with the people in your life today, you'll find yourself attracting different people, in some ways more advanced individuals, more developed individuals, more powerful individuals. So in a sense, you'll be graduating to a bigger problem. Because the more advanced someone is, often the more difficult they can be to deal with. And as you can deal with these individuals, you're going to find yourself creating alliances with more and more powerful people. So what does it mean to deal effectively with a difficult person? It means first and foremost that you are maintaining your own peace and poise, that you're experiencing as harmony, that you're feeling good about yourself, that you're even feeling good about the other person. Because when you're experiencing a sense of resentment, it's really just a cover-up of feeling a sense of inadequacy yourself. And as long as you go on resenting the other person, you're really continuing to harbor this resentment and feeling and belief in your own inadequacy, which prevents you from treating your own self well. When a person is treating you poorly, if you want to be as healthy as you can be, and as happy as you can be, and as successful as you can be, you're called on to forgive that person. Now, what I mean by forgiving is simply letting go of what they did that you found disturbing. You don't have to continue stewing in the juices of resentment and bitterness because someone said or did something 5 minutes ago, 5 years ago. That's up to you. To forgive someone is to mentally let go of those visions, those dreams, those memories of how that person injured you. And you find that the better you are at letting go of those, the less you have to forgive, the better you feel. And you find that really what a difficult person is calling on you to do is forgive them. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to reach out to them. It doesn't mean that you have to give them what they're asking for. It doesn't mean that you have to allow them to treat you in ways that you might find abusive or unfair. It simply means that you're not holding on to the resentment and the fear that has been triggered off by the memory of what they did. And even if they did it 5 seconds ago, all it is now is a memory. It's something you can hold on to or you can let go of. As you practice letting go of it, you'll find yourself more and more delighted, even when you're dealing with a difficult person. When you allow yourself to continue to revisit the frustration and pain, thinking or speaking of someone who treated you poorly, the 3 letters to think about for that are ATE. The ATE stands for attention, time, and energy. You don't want to be giving your attention, time, and energy to someone who's frustrating you, to someone who you find disturbing. Every time you think about that person or talk about that person in a way that causes you to revisit the feeling of disturbance, every time you relate with that person in a disturbed state where you're feeling frustrated and powerless, infuriated. What's happening is that is eating your attention, your time, and your energy. And as that eats your attention, time, and energy, you have nothing left to live your life with happiness and joy. It takes energy to feel good. It takes energy to function effectively. It takes energy to think creatively. It takes energy to do your best, and the better you do, the better your results. And as you allow your attention, time, and energy to be consumed by the way you are thinking, and you are feeling, and you are speaking, and you are dealing with a difficult person, then there's nothing left for you. So be aware of what's eating you. And you'll find that the only thing that's really eating you is what you're thinking about. If someone's being irrational and overly emotional, chaotic, what that person is exuding is a kind of a magnetic pull upon your own personality and behavior and attitude. That person is literally dragging you down into the dysfunctional state that they're in. It takes strength and focus to avoid being dragged down. Let's say you're driving in your car and someone reacts to you in a rude manner, and instantly you feel like reacting in a rude manner right back. That person's dysfunction just drew you in. That person's difficult behavior just drew you into the same behavior they just engaged in. And you're going to suffer the same consequences that's coming to them. You can't be angry in your car and come home a healthy, happy person, ready to be loving with your family. Now, there are people who blame the other drivers on the road for their own anger and frustration and rudeness. And of course, that's hopeless, because the way you react is always going to be your responsibility, no one else's responsibility. You don't want to give anyone the power to make you have a bad day. When someone is behaving in a manner that you don't like, focus on how you are functioning. Don't try to control that other person. Don't try to impress that other person. Just make sure that you are functioning in a healthy, harmonious, happy, compassionate, intelligent way. That you're in touch with your goals, that you're feeling balanced and serene and centered. This is not easy. But every difficult person gives you the opportunity to practice this and to develop, to exercise your ability to focus on maintaining your own integrity when you're around someone who's relating to you in a way that you find difficult. Use those opportunities to exercise and to strengthen and to develop your own strength to maintain your peace and poise and integrity, no matter how the other person is behaving. When you don't like another person's attitude, when you feel it's offensive or disrespectful or negative, what you want to focus on is your attitude toward that person's attitude. Is your attitude negative? Are you feeling disrespectful? Are you feeling disrespected? That's an attitude you're holding on to. Look at the attitude you have toward another person, and don't make it that person's responsibility to keep your attitude on track. Your health is affected by your attitude. You can cause yourself depression by living in a negative attitude for extended periods of time. You'll start feeling discouraged and demoralized. Look at your attitude. Are you feeling loving? Are you feeling grateful? Are you feeling at peace? Are you feeling in faith, secure? You want to work on establishing yourself in those attitudes, because those attitudes are good for your body. They strengthen you. They empower you. They're good for your mind. They help you to think more clearly and to think more constructively. So look at your attitude toward another's attitude and work on maintaining your attitude so that your attitude is functioning for you, not against you. It's all about self-awareness. Look at how you are dealing with this person to see ways that you can improve how you're dealing instead of resenting the person for giving you the problem. You can even be grateful to the person for the opportunity to see how you can grow, how you can outgrow the problem and transform that relationship from a problem into a solution. And that's all the time we have for today's broadcast of Bob Lancer's Answers. To order a recording of today's show or of previous shows, and for more information about my work, check out my website at boblancer.com.